What is going on, guys, and welcome back to Farmer on the Prairie. So today we are going to be taking out the 60-inch plot. We're also going to be finishing the rest of that field. I need to right now pick up all the snoots on the corn head and adjust the deck plates out. We had them all the way in for last year because the corn was very spindly, but this year the corn's a little bit thicker and it's pulling the tops of the plants off and running them through the machine. So I need to knock these out about a 1/4 inch. So I'm gonna get that done, set up an auger, do a whole bunch of stuff like that. So hopefully we'll get going, get quite a bit of stuff done today, and I'll take you guys along with me. So I went ahead, I got these deck plates adjusted out a little bit wider now. New combine heads, you just hit a switch and then deck plates adjust. On the Dragos, they're self-adjusting. Unfortunately, we've got an old IH-1063 head, but it is the best head that Case ever made. This head works good for the old combine it's on. Okay, so now we are going out to the grain bin that we're gonna be filling first. It is our 14,000 bushel grain bin. It's a 34-foot. Computer controlled drying bin. We're gonna check, make sure the sweep is in the correct place, and then we're gonna set up an auger to go into the bin. I haven't really showed you guys the harvest side of grain bins yet, so you're gonna see some of that today. All right, it is locked up. That's a good sign. I guess we'll look in the top and make sure that the power sweep is put in the right position. All right, you can see down in here, the power sweep is right behind the little sump holes in the floor. I need to check and make sure the cables are tied down. Nope. Okay, so now I'm gonna climb up on top, open up the lid, and then set the auger up. All right, guys, so we've got the 695 hooked up to our 10-inch auger, and we are now going to back our 10-inch auger around and over to the grain bin. All right, so we're up on top of the grain bin now. We've got the auger set up here. And this one, most of our grain bins, actually all of them except this one, have what's called a scatter grain. It is a electric motor that spins a plate. This one is a gravity feed distributor that has a bunch of arms down in there and spreads the grain out. So once we start unloading, we have to adjust it to make sure that we're getting an even spread onto the grain in the bin. All right, y'all, we are out here, and right now I have the weigh wagon set up, going into one of our gravity wagons. I just finished taking all of the end rows off of this field except for one pass. I'm gonna grab that real quick, make sure the grain tank's empty, and then we're gonna start taking out our plot, or a run we did not put on any starter. And then we have our 60-inch corn, and we're gonna weigh all that out and make sure that we are as close to accurate as we possibly can be on our yield. Okay, so now we are going to go ahead and do the strip that is 30-inch rows with no starter. So how I'm going to do this is write down my beginning acres, 5.29, and then also start a calibration load. And then I'm gonna get back, I'm gonna dump, I'm gonna write down the amount of acres, dump, and then we will know how much grain we had. Okay, we just finished our first through. Now we're gonna write down that we did 6.16 acres. I know that this isn't 100% accurate. The only way to do that is to run out a tape measure, but it's still gonna give us an idea of the yield difference. That's what we're looking at, not necessarily total yield, but yield difference. So I'm gonna write down that now. The end weight, weigh it out on the scale, double check that, and just see where we're at. So our first plot with everything normal, 30-inch corn, just no starter and no pivot bio, was 190 bushels an acre. Now we're going through on the next run on the other side of our plot that is 30-inch rows, nitrogen, pivot bio, and starter, everything put on with the planter, except for, and then side dress later, of course. Everything's done the same except that didn't have pivot bio improvement or starter. Okay, we are now in the 60-inch corn, and I'd have to admit, guys, this is weird. Really weird. We're using half the head. So we're just gonna go through here and check this out and see what we got for yield. Well, the results are in. By not putting starter on, we lost 27.2 or 27.35 bushels, and the 60-inch corn had a grand total of negative 67.46 bushel an acre. So to give you guys a perspective, if corn were to be, let's say, at 350, we would be losing $234.50 an acre by planting 60-inch corn. That's huge. Okay, y'all, so I've been combining a while now. Got the plot almost done. All the wagons are full, so now I'm rotating through the wagons because Dad is out doing fall burn down right now, and there's only 2 of us, so I'm gonna empty all the wagons and then keep on combining. probably done for the night. The head on the combine kept shutting off, so after supper I'm going to take that apart. It's either the switch, the wires, or the solenoid. Got to figure out what it is. There's broken wire somewhere or something, but anyways, head kept shutting off, so that needs fixed. And Dad hasn't been hauling in for me, so it's kind of made it interesting to try and keep going. But tomorrow we'll be running like we should. So I guess that's all for today's video. Thanks for watching, and I will see y'all next time.